Hello, welcome. We are live on the YouTube, so I assume we can't say fuck or bugger. Um, Today we are going to be reviewing the Suicide Squad. So today we have a special guest. So I think we should introduce them first out of politeness. So we have Kyle. Hello, Kyle.
Hi, hello.
Are you excited to it's not react, it's review. We are
Yes,
reviewing it.
I'm so excited. I just watched it for the third time last night, so I'm ready. Got a bunch of notes here.
Good. And we also have our favorite lesbian, Natalia.
Hello. I too rewatched it. I got about 45 minutes in, aka when Harley spoilers. We're talking spoilers, aka when Harley killed her abuser, groomer. Good shit. Love to see it.
Okay. We also have someone from the first movie, but they've changed. Then they're no longer whatever. They're no longer a crocodile. They're now a gator. We have Jack.
Hello. Yes, I do have him right here, though.
Oh, there we go.
The star of Loki.
And we have Destiny joining us as well, our newest member of the council.
Hi.
Hi, bestie.
Hello.
Are you excited for this one?
Yes, I'm very excited to see how this will go down.
And we have our next member, Sohail.
What up?
Oh, what a jazzy entrance.
I know it's going to be a jazzy review.
And finally, we have the traitor who left us for
The horror
you're
stuff.
supposed to say greener pastures, but he's with George
Something
Attacker,
new.
so something new. We have Ben.
Hi everyone. Great to be back, Liam. I didn't miss you, but I'm happy.
Did you miss me?
I missed you, and I'm so happy to be here with Kyle and Destiny, who I haven't really been on a call with. So I'm really happy to finally do something like that with these really cool folks, except for Liam because he's ginger and British, and we don't like that.
Worse shit's happened for you.
That's true. That's true.
So, where to start? Obviously, I think we should get the elephant in the room out of the way firstly. Let's all say, are we going to have any, how would you put it, ridiculous points on the movie today? Are we going to overreact, or are we just going to discuss it like any other movie?
Well, what's the point in being here if we're not going to overreact?
Okay, there we are.
Yeah.
It was all rape and murder.
And lots of imperialism.
Apparently lots of tits, even though I didn't see one pair.
I didn't see any of them. I don't know where
There
that
were
came
no
from.
tits.
It was so quick. It
There
was
were.
just a split second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they were
That's
in
too
the
much.
bar.
Too many tits.
Too many tits. So I think we go around the room and give everyone's initial impressions.
Yes,
Okay.
but you pick the people.
Okay, I will pick the people. I will go with Destiny first, because I know she keeps on saying we're allowed to clown her.
Why? I was going to say, why?
Give us a reason.
Tell us why we
Why?
can clown you.
Because I was very skeptical. Kyle, you're smiling too much. But I was very skeptical about this movie. But I ended up enjoying it a little bit. And it did make my top 5 of DC movies in general. So you can clown me. It's fine. Have a thick skin. But no, I really like this movie, honestly. I appreciated how it was made, like visually, and how the pacing was great. To me, it never lagged. I loved the characters. It made sense. So I enjoyed it overall. Those are my general thoughts without spoilers.
Good. Nice, precise, to the point. I like it. I'm not going to clown you for it because I agree. Next, we will go with Tip dog shit. Sohail.
I won't take that as an offense. um, I would say it was quite a surprise. I thought it was going to be a soft reboot and a sequel at the same time, which I think they were going for. It made sense to me. And I watched it at home and it was great. Well, I watched it in theaters and it was great. And
As a Scot, yes, you did. You watched
yes,
it in
I
the
did.
theatre.
Yes, and I would say it wasn't as a side mission like the first movie, but it kept popping up like why this storyline. But as time went on, it made sense, and I think to judge it based on this storyline, I think it was a good movie. It was dope, and I liked this the humor and the action sequences, and just right off the bat, the two favorite characters I had is King Shark and Harley Quinn, and I would put it like either fifth or sixth in the DCU top ranking.
Okay, good. Acceptable. So next, I think since we've already shaded this other YouTuber, we'll go to the other person that doesn't brush the hair, and let's go to Ben. Ben, let's talk to you.
Thank you very much for the lovely introduction, Liam. I really, really like this movie. It was around this time last week. I saw last Saturday night, 8:00. Had a great time. It was really fun. I liked how it definitely feels like a DC movie. It's certainly DC, but it's a different side to DC. It is the more vibrant side. There's different sides to every universe. There's a darker side to Marvel. There's a darker side to DC. There's a lighter side to both of them as well, inherently. And I think this film really captures the light side to DC perfectly. It did make my top 5 for the DCEU. It's number 4, but I include Joker in that. So just because I like to see every live action movie as some sort of multiverse story that's in the DC extended universe. I really did have a great time. I loved the characters. I loved the story. The script, it was really well executed, and the visuals were really something special. And James Gunn has talked about how the technology that he used for this movie is kind of new. The shots are really dynamic. Everything's constantly flowing. And I'm really happy he got to test out this technology with his style and with this movie in particular. I think it really, really worked. I had a great time. I loved everything about it.
Good, thank you. I also hadn't thought about including Joker in my top, however many there is. So I might have to have a think about that.
List.
Yeah. Next, I think we should go to Kyle.
Yeah, I
nasty
love
to
this
say about
movie.
Kyle.
What?
See, I don't have anything nasty to say about Kyle, so just go.
Okay, good. Yeah, I love this movie. I think James Gunn was honestly like such a great choice because he made all the strong choices that made the movie like as entertaining as it was. So yeah, I liked it a lot. I also put it number 3 in my DCE. Well, I don't add Joker to mine because I wouldn't consider that DCEU, like this specific universe, whatever. But yeah, I loved it. I saw it the first time last week at the early fan screening in LA, and there's so many people there, and it was so much fun because everybody obviously like wanted to see this movie for a long time, and it just being there with like the crowd was just awesome. It was so much fun.
And we're not jealous at all. So next, I think let's go to funsizeboys.net. AKA Jack.
That would be me.
Yeah. So you knew that one.
Yeah. Well, I was also the only one left. So I really liked this movie. I thought it was very James Gunn and creative. And I think he did a good job of also respecting the past movies. I could see some flares from David Ayer's Suicide Squad with like the titles and such. And during Harley's scene was kind of like with the flowers, kind of like the prison robbery scene in Birds of Prey. So he respected the previous movies while also putting his own unique spin on this one. And usually with comic book movies, the third act is my least favorite part, but here I think it was easily the strongest part. And he was able to make an army of rats attacking a giant star emotional somehow. So I think very, very good job at that. I don't know. Very few people could do that, and James Gunn was able to do it. So good job.
Yes, very good job. For myself, I did enjoy it. I put it at the top of my list of DC films because I am more of a humor person than a gritty person. So I previously had Shazam at the top of my list, even over the Snyder Cut.
Ben.
I can just see Ben's face now. It's like fills me with joy. I liked it because it was like it felt like it was in the same vein as Shazam, but it was more adult. So that I appreciated the more adult tones that came with it. I also found I didn't find that any point where I was like bored, which even though like justice that like the Snyder Cut is amazing, there is points where I get bored because it's too long. So I don't care. Like, I don't want to hear an Icelandic woman singing. So I appreciated that I could just watch it. I didn't get bored. I enjoyed it. I got to see his flaccid penis get shot through the sky. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So now that we've gotten the basics out of the way, let's go into spoiler territory. Who wants to discuss what first? It's a free-for-all. Go for it. Tell us what you want. No one?
Should we talk about like? I just want to say that Ratcatcher 2 and Polka Dot Man and King
Best
Shark
characters.
are like all time for my favorite characters.
The best.
Yeah, I think
They
they
were
were
the
all
best.
so good. Even though like Harley is like so iconic and she was used very heavily for the promoting of this movie, I think they almost like they kind of outshined her, like, and not in a bad way because Harley was really good too. But I think all the new characters were so strong, especially with the more emotional moments. Every character has like their own little mini arc in this movie, and it's all of it pays off. It's so good.
And it's so good that they actually managed to give everyone their own arc, which is usually obviously like ridiculously difficult with this many people in one film. So I appreciate
That's why they killed half of them in the beginning.
Well, there is that too. But I don't think anyone went in there expecting they were going to get an arc for like Pete Davidson.
We all know who would.
Well,
me, I would.
Our fearless leader
Sorry.
wanted an arc for Pete Davidson. But I think deep down, if anyone like was like looking inside, even if you love him, were you like, oh, well, I'm gonna go in this and I'm gonna get a full Pete Davidson story?
No.
Well, exactly.
I would say I was very glad that he got killed off because I just felt like it was Pete Davidson in this movie rather than the character.
I'm so sorry, Kyle. But now you know how Yousef feels.
He was funny. He did his job.
Yeah.
The werewolf
does
bit
anyone
was
care
the gag.
Does anyone care if it's like an accurate portrayal of the character Blackguard? Does anyone actually care?
Literally.
Don't know who the hell that is.
Yeah.
So no.
I'd rather see Pete Davidson be funny for a few seconds and then get his head blown off. That's exactly what you like want, and that's what they delivered. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So we'll go to that opening scene. Was there any standouts from that, like, shall we say, B cast? From the B cast, was there any standouts for anyone?
Yeah, I really liked Flula Borg and Mongal. I actually did like both of them a lot. And I really liked Savant because I love Michael Rooker so much. He's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Next.
So did no one like Weasel?
Oh, Weasel.
I like Weasel. He
I
was
like
really
Weasel,
so cool.
he was
He
fine.
is.
He-
What a legend.
He did what he had to do,
And he's alive.
He had to die.
and
He
then
was
come
very
back.
well
But he didn't.
realized. He looked.
It was
But
so
he
funny.
came back.
It was
I
so
meant
funny.
in like
I hope he's in the sequel. I hope they make another Suicide Squad movie. But
Yeah.
box office, I genuinely would not make another Harley Quinn movie if they're opening at $30 million. Like, I mean, come on.
Oh no, it's not
It's bad.
good.
But this
well,
got
without the
Tragic.
Suicide Squad, would Harley not be in that?
that would do even worse. That should just be a
Yeah,
streaming show.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a shame because this is a really good film, but I think, as I said before, obviously we've got a group chat with other people, which is what I said before when we were discussing why do we think that obviously this hasn't done as well. My view is, as we've all seen online, there's a lot of the fanatical Snyder Cut fans and Air Cut fans who are purposefully trying to cut down this film. That isn't helping. Because that's taken away a big chunk of the money, because a big chunk of DC fans are them fans. But then you've just got obviously the ongoing pandemic, which is a shit show still. And then you've just got, it wasn't well advertised. So does anyone else have a thought?
The other day I posted on Instagram that I went to go see it in the theaters, and then somebody that I know replied and said, he asked me, he's like, so is it new or is it like the same movie? And I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh no.
I see.
And he was like, yeah, like the old Suicide Squad. Is it like the Justice League thing where they just like added more footage, or is it like a new movie? And I was like,
no.
yeah. So I think that is also happening too. Like people
It
think
is.
it's the shitty like 2016 version. Which is,
I've had people from my work group chat, because I had put in that I just went to see it when I left the cinema, and they were like, "Didn't that come out in 2016?" And I was just like, "Oh."
The title doesn't help if you just add in the.
exactly.
Yeah.
They should have like put like a colon and then another title beside
The
it.
Suicide
since-
Squad, James
Well, I
Gunn
mean,
edition.
It
or
is a
part two
Suicide
or
Squad too.
whatever.
Like it is a sequel. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily reference it, but it's a sequel.
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah.
need to try and be quirky. But I think it'd also be wrong not to mention the fact that DC as a franchise is it has no momentum whatsoever. Like Shazam opened at 50, and it would be another
That
thing
wasn't during a pandemic, so
But no, I'm gonna get to BOP in a second. But if that was where the DCEU is without the Snyder fans, because I don't really think the Snyder fans were big into stuff like Shazam either. But you had Shazam open at 50, Birds of Prey open at 30. I just don't think that the franchise has a lot of momentum, and I don't think the pandemic helps. And everything you've said is absolutely true. But this franchise, as much as I love it, it's probably my favorite franchise. I love all the movies except for 2 of them. But like still, for a franchise, that's still pretty good. But it has no momentum. It has no steam. And I think it's movies like The Suicide Squad that give it momentum, but it needs to be a success for that to happen. And that's not going to happen. It's going to have the worst opening. That's not Wonder Woman 84, which came out just as all the cases around the world spiked like hell. Like only 10 million more than then. That's embarrassing. And I know it's R-rated and stuff. I know that doesn't help either. But it should have beaten Birds of Prey. And the fact that it's probably not going to is really, really bad.
I think it's a connectivity issue as well. You know, how we always have to reference Marvel. I know some people hate that, but I do that. And I would say I'm more of a mainstream comic book moviegoer than someone who reads the comics, or like I read theories online, but sometimes I just, see the trailers and then I go to the movies. I'm that kind of guy. So the problem with DC, and I think we all know it, everyone knows it, Warner Brothers knows it, but they just don't care. They don't know how to reference each movie together, at least in their own world. Joker could be like Joker 29, was it 2019? I forgot.
Yeah.
The pandemic changed the time, yeah. That could be its own world, but they're not going to continue that unless it's Joker 2. Birds of Prey, where does that fit in? And the Suicide Squad, was that a sequel to that? And then this Suicide Squad, is that a sequel to the first one, which I think makes sense. But everyone says it's a reboot because James Gunn came in and said, "I'm just doing my own thing."
Well, I think it's a sequel
So
to
there's
Birds of
that
Prey.
confusion.
It's a sequel to Birds of
Yes.
Prey because the first words she says were, "I got road rage," and the last time we see her in Birds of Prey, she's in the car. I think
Yeah, and she
that's what
has
I
all
got
of
from it.
her like she has all of
Yeah.
her like new Birds of Prey tattoos and stuff too. So
Mm.
it's
Yeah,
a sequel, but it's like only the like people that are paying attention.
If you
would know
remember
that.
the shit from the
Yeah.
last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it'd be
Okay.
nice to just see Shazam or someone fly into the movie for a second and then like fly away. Or like see
The
him on
only
the
ref
That's the way Marvel does it, and it makes it so much more like, oh yeah. Like if you saw Aquaman
Well,
or
they even
Criminal
did that in
Wonder
the
Woman.
first one. They did that in the first one with Batman and the Flash too. I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the only reference they made in this movie was someone, I forgot who it was, shot Superman into a coma.
It
Bloodsport.
was Bloodsport, yeah.
Idris
So that
Elba.
was the only reference to our mainstream DC that we got. We don't know where Batman is, although we wouldn't think he would be in the island, but that was okay. But I just felt like it was a cop out in a way. So
Does anyone else think it's a problem that DC is making Bat Family and Batman related movies? Like you've Harley Quinn movies, you're going to get a Batgirl movie, you're probably going to get Nightwing at some point, but there is no Batman to connect them all. I think that's a pretty big problem because I think those characters work when Batman is there. You don't
We have a
necessarily
solid, legit Batman.
Yeah,
we
you
don't.
need to have a solid Batman instead of having two, now maybe three at the same time. I think that's a big problem for these movies as well. But Destiny, what do you think? Because you've been kind of quiet, and I want to hear.
And
what you have
you're
to
a
say.
super DC head.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. But I think my opinion on this question is I just think Warner Brothers managing DC, they're always a mess. So I don't expect much from them. It doesn't have to be necessarily like Marvel, but at the same time, I think they need to establish, okay, this is Earth One, this is this universe, this is a standalone, and then maybe it could bring in more understanding. Because I was telling my brother about the Suicide Squad, and like the day before that I was gonna go see it, didn't know what I was talking about whatsoever, and I had to tell him the whole story. But so I think that's a major problem, and it just I don't know how that would be solved with the future movies, because we're gonna have a Batgirl movie and Blue Beetle, which I'm excited about, but it's just where
Aren't
this is
those
all
both going to
connects.
HBO Max?
Yeah, and another thing,
Yep.
yeah.
That needs to
Ugh,
change. That needs to change.
God.
It's embarrassing and it's cruel to put them there. Like it's like
Two
and you
Latin
have
leads.
you have
for
Shazam
two
in
movies,
theaters,
and they're going.
like come on guys, like they do it to themselves. It's really really disappointing because you want them to succeed because they have incredible characters, incredible stories to tell, really good filmmakers. You know, Leslie Grace is probably going to be a very good Batgirl, and they're just going to waste it by throwing it on streaming. Like that is just an insult. Why bother investing in a Batgirl movie if you're just going to put it on streaming? I don't know why you would. I
to
wouldn't.
be honest, as someone who doesn't understand the comics that well of DC, I would say this is going to confuse me even more to have them come into the realm of the theater. And I just going to be like, okay, where's Batman in this? Because as Ben alluded to, you need Batman to be an arc for these movies to continue, and for Superman. But I just don't see anything. I just think the box office, because that's what the industry needs. They need good money to like keep doing these films, and they're just shooting blanks at the moment, and that's why I feel for the future movies of DC.
DC hasn't had a hit since Aquaman. It's depressing.
They've kind of backed themselves into a corner when it comes to the DC universe. They've got everything, obviously, everything's fractured, everything's all over the joint. They've then obviously got the issue of they don't really know what to do. They want to try and catch up to Marvel. Obviously, we know we don't like it. Stop harping on. We don't want it to be like Marvel. And you're right. Nobody does want it to be like Marvel. But in an effort to get to where Marvel was at the time that they started, they took shortcuts and it fucked them over in the long haul. Because if they'd have just started a bit slower, we wouldn't be here right now.
Like actual large IPs.
Well, the crazy thing was they took shortcuts and then they didn't even commit to those shortcuts. They committed
I
shortcuts
know.
to having Justice League 5 movies in, And then they were like, no, we don't want to do that anymore. And then
I know-
what that leads to is these really great movies making no money. Suicide Squad making no money. Birds
Yeah.
of Prey, good movie, a more divisive one, but still making no money. Shazam, although I don't like it, people love it, making not a
I
lot
love
of money.
Shazam.
It's
I love
really,
Shazam.
it's frustrating. It is
It is.
frustrating. It's really
Right.
frustrating.
So now that we've slagged off Warner Brothers, let's get back to the Suicide Squad.
Yes, please.
So there is obviously a popular YouTuber had a bit of a meltdown over the last few days when it comes to this film and provided a list of
You're not.
things
Oh my
Yo.
god.
that
Yes.
What a
Drag
legend.
her.
she says this movie did. Is that what we would say?
Can
She's
I-
saying that that's what the
Are
movie
we getting
did.
cancelled today or something? I don't-
We're not getting cancelled. No,
No.
I'm not doing
We've
anything
We're
like
been
that.
responding to
cancelled. We're
her
past that.
critiques.
Like, yeah. So obviously the critiques that she put in her spoiler review was that there was full frontal nudity, crude discussions, over-the-top gore, innocents killed, human torture, animal cruelty, political commentary, and shockingly evil characters.
Can
You
I
mean
say
a movie
I
called
want
The
to respond
Suicide
to all
Squad?
of these with one answer. I want to
Can we go
respond
by
to
one
all
by
of
one?
these. I
Do you
want to
mean the-
respond to these with one answer.
Go, right, okay, one answer, go.
Why is she surprised that she's like mad about all this shit about a rated R movie? She goes into a rated R movie and is surprised about rated R stuff.
Why is she surprised that a movie called The Suicide Squad
look.
has bad people, innocents killed, and has some political commentary
It's
about this?
imperialism.
So I haven't said it for us to be like, right, drag her, because that's obviously not what this is about. I just brought this up because obviously that has been the lead in our discussion in all group chats across the board. Every group chat I'm in, the group chat across the board is, what is she on about? Because no one really understands where she's plucked these things from. Yes, obviously, I didn't see the full frontal nudity on the woman, but apparently there is. But it's not full frontal. It's just a woman with her tits out. Is that
There's literally
the
tassels on it.
understanding?
They have, those like you don't see.
well,
Oh,
the
so
nipple.
she's got nipple cover. All right. Oh
Yeah.
well, that's not full
No,
frontal.
there were no. There
Wearing
were
pasties.
were there
There were
no
naked
pasties?
boobies.
Was
there
there
were-
full
I thought there
naked
was-
boobie?
No
I thought there was like glitter on them. They're in the
pasties.
strip club. I thought there was like glitter on some of them.
Okay.
Oh no, I think it was when they were leaving.
It was
Oh.
when they're leaving and they go through like
Oh,
the
okay,
back
yeah, yeah.
Function
way,
room.
Tits.
I
through the
think- is there-
dressing room, and there's I think there's like two women that are like topless.
Okay, well that's not bad. Like that's just in
Yeah.
the background. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
fine. And then obviously the other one that was brought up was there was another two things. So there was that one, there was the boobies, there was the naked man. But
Yeah.
the naked man wasn't naked. The naked man stood up and had no pants on. I assume he was on a toilet. He stood
Then
up,
he
he
got
had no
shot.
pants on, but he had a top on, and then he
Mm.
got shot. So yes, you did say penis for a split second.
And it
But
was in the
again,
dark.
It's in the
It's in the
dark, and it's an R-rated movie, and it's not like it was like it.
Yeah.
It was just there. So, with that point,
Oh,
do
yes.
you agree that that should be something that's pointed out to people?
No.
No.
No, not really.
It's
Especially
what's to be
because-
expected.
Especially because
Exactly.
the catalyst for that section was based off of John Cena's tidy whities.
I mean, I haven't gotten to there.
Oh,
I'm
you
waiting
have,
for
you
that. I'm waiting
specifically
for it.
waited for that. Sweet, go.
I was just asking about the boobies and the flaccid penis.
It's a rated
have-
R movie. I don't know.
No,
I'm
this
is-
confused.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
so
even-
fast. The fact that we have to
Yeah.
discuss where it happened, it just
I
come
know.
on.
Exactly. There's a lot of people online who've actually seen it, have actually responded to her tweet saying, I don't know what you're on about. Like, where is this scenes? Because they were that quick, they didn't see them. I
Literally
still
blink
didn't
and
see
you'll
the
miss it.
boobies, and
Yeah.
I've watched it twice now. And I also put it back on today and fast forwarded it to the club scene and still couldn't see the boobies.
Mm.
So I don't know whether it's a gay thing and I just flash boobies out. But you wouldn't think I did because I have my own boobs, but still. Someone's saying also Weasel's private parts are exposed. I didn't see Weasel. I
I
thought
didn't
we
see
Really? When?
He's a
I
weasel.
wasn't looking, to be
Yeah,
honest. I wasn't looking for that.
sure Weasel was just flat. It was like a Ken doll with hair. So then obviously, so the next divisive part that was highlighted, and obviously there's a screenshot tweet now going around around the Twitterverse, was because there's obviously the scene with John Cena in tidy whities.
Mhm.
Okay.
He wears this in wrestling, which is for all ages. What?
I don't know what's up with that, to be honest. I just think it was a joke, and people make jokes. I know it was warranted. It was for a laugh.
It's supposed to
even then,
demasculate the character.
He wasn't even nude, to be honest with you.
I was so waiting for naked John Cena to show up and be like, she's right. But he's still clothed.
Did she complain about naked John Cena in Blockers or in Trainwreck? When you
was
saw
John Cena naked in Blockers?
We saw more parts of John Cena in those movies than we did in this one.
Oh, I better go and watch them movies. Jack, Destiny.
You chaotic gay.
Do you have any thoughts on Underwear Gate?
That exists. I had no issue with this scene. I just honestly, my brain just can't comprehend that this can be a point that someone can bring up and say this is too much.
This is why you should have watched this movie. What is too much for you?
I don't understand. I just don't understand, especially when we live in a world where we would watch The Boys and everything. So what's the problem?
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna say John Cena and his tidy whities is a big issue, then you're gonna have to say the Olympics is a big issue with these people in Speedos, which is apparently not an issue. I mean, it's not a big deal at all.
Okay, that's good.
Hi,
that's
wife.
Fine. I accept that one. Crude discussions.
They were hilarious.
They were.
Yeah, that's the point of
Remind me of one. Remind me.
The bag of dicks on the beach.
Oh
First
my god!
off, that was in the trailer.
That was in the trailer. Yeah,
in the trailer.
We knew that was happening. I can't really remember any other fully crude conversations. Apart from that one.
Families go to the beach, so to reference that on the beach is a really big problem. I don't see how none of you are seeing this.
Oh God, nobody's.
They get really old.
Nobody tell Grace about a nudist beach. She'll be mortified. She'll clutch her pearls. So I've been on a nudist beach. They're fine. Everyone's lovely. I had a lovely German gentleman rub his ballsack on my elbow when I was trying to get a bottle of water from the kiosk. It was delightful. They were really old and saggy. Innocents killed.
Oh God! Here we fucking go. Here we go.
Oh shit!
Right.
What? Okay.
Big surprise.
So why is this in? So it's a superhero movie. It's a comic book movie. It's about an island being taken over. It's about you've seen there's a war scene. So every comic book movie has obviously innocent bystanders. It's a very large part of the story of Batman v Superman.
And a whole lot of imperialism.
Yeah, exactly. So is this also bad?
I have something to say about
what we should expect.
You called it, you said first it's a superhero movie, but I think to the point of this conversation, it's a super villain movie. So
yeah,
what do you expect?
Exactly.
You're supposed to be rooting for the super villain, so obviously this is gonna happen.
In a blockbuster, look at the Transformers movies. Oh my God, cities are destroyed in every single one of them. People literally scream as fucking cars fly into them. This happens in almost every movie. James Gunn actually had a really thoughtful commentary with how he discussed the people, not only of the nation, but just people in, with the rat catcher, how people in the lower class of society are viewed as rats and stuff like that. He had a really smart commentary about how these people are often left for dead. And then even had that when Amanda Waller says, I don't care this isn't our job anymore. Leave the island. That's the point. It's the point of the movie. Like,
It is.
look at any major war from like America, like what Natalia's want to say. Look at the Iraq War. Look at all those wars where they just murder people for no reason.
I know I look
not at the
really giddy.
political
I know I
section
look
yet.
really giddy, but I just want to yell out something really quick.
Well, it's fine. We're used
Do
to
it.
doing
Do
this.
it.
American imperialism, baby! Thank you
Based.
for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you. So obviously linked in with that innocence killed is the human torture aspect that she mentions, which is obviously with regards to the scene where they go into the village on the orders of Amanda Waller, on the understanding that Rick Flag has been taken. We then have this really not drawn out, but like longish extended action sequence, where obviously it turns into more of a competition between blood sport, and John Cena's Peacemaker in who can get the most inventive kills and who can kill the most. We've got
hello, God.
David.
Oh, great.
Is that David Cassidy? Wow. Okay. I'm talking about you and your hair.
Anyway.
So with that scene, obviously that's what she's referencing with human torture. Like,
no, the other stuff as well. The thinker and all those people.
Oh yeah, in Star
yeah. Well, which
I mean that's a given, but we have to explain very specifically what she's referencing on both ends, so then everyone understands what's happening in the movie.
Yes. I did forget about that part because yes, that is also human torture. But again, is this something that should be a warning for people, or is it an overreaction to think that shouldn't be shown in a film?
It's an overreact. It's not as if friendly people on like the same side as you have never been killed before. It happens all the time. Like, this shit happens. Get over it. And it was done. It was a very well directed sequence, and I think it did actually allow to advance the plot because all the freedom fighters were dead, so the Suicide Squad had to step in. They had to, while also advancing their plot to take down the big place. They also worked with Alicia Braga's character to take down the government. You know, it kind of worked for both of them because they owed her. So it actually worked to serve the plot. It was not a big deal whatsoever.
Okay, excellent. Does anyone else have any other thoughts on it?
What are we talking about?
Imperialism. Torture.
No, man, you really just popped in. But no, I was just going to say I think it is an overreaction because it's not like this movie is PG-13 or PG. It is rated R. There's plenty of content that's rated R or mature if it's TV that handles serious topics and, hopefully a good way. But this movie, I think it handled both the first scene and the human experiments with Starro. I feel like it was handled well. It wasn't too much, but it still got the point across of what I was trying to say, especially with Rick Flag. And so I think it is an overreaction. That's just my thoughts.
Yes.
I also have words.
Deep breaths.
I am also of the same vein as you because I think, yes, it's a bad thing, but it had a meaning. It had a reason. It provided a story with political undertones that helped us understand what was happening. And also, obviously, it developed the characters. Yeah, it gave Rick Flag an amazing scene, which no one expected from Rick Flag.
Yeah.
Let's just point that out. We
true.
thought Rick Flag would be the same as the first film, but in this film, thanks to these things happening, Rick Flag became fucking interesting. Who knew? So
look, if you want to watch a Suicide Squad movie that does not go far enough, there's a PG-13 Suicide Squad movie already. Go watch that one.
I will say, on Rick Flag, that was the only death I was disappointed in because I wanted him to
Polka
live.
Dot Man.
No, Rick Flag.
Both.
Yeah, but he was sad too. They were both regretful.
They were both sad.
Both.
Both. They were both sad, but I think you'd kind of gone everywhere you could go with Rick Flag in the way that this story has played out. You couldn't now keep Rick Flag about because what does Amanda Waller have on him to keep him there? Nothing. So the only way to get him out of it was to kill him.
Yeah.
Well, In the comics, he was in Guantanamo Bay. I think in the Rebirth, he was in Guantanamo Bay or somewhere like that. And
Ooh.
she said, "Look, if you disobey, you go back there." I think that's what I remember him being in some sort of jail, and that's why he stuck around. But it was years.
He
since
might
I
get
read that.
found and be in there. We don't know.
He may
So-
come back.
May.
Don't know.
So
I'm gonna-
quickly.
I'm gonna interrupt really quickly because I just wanted to stop in and say hi. Somebody
Well,
asked after
if you
Bacon
hadn't-
We'll
Boy-
say hi and get out.
Bacon Boy arrived. So I really love this movie. I'm sad that I couldn't be here talking about it because I'm moving. This is my new place. It's blurry, but you'll see it eventually. I think the movie's really good. It is R-rated. Like Ben said, there's a PG-13 cut that you can watch if you can't take it. I think the Human Torture stuff was done really well. I think all of the characters were really good. I think James Gunn's directing was really good. And to Rick Flag, because that's kind of where I jumped in, they introduced two better Rick Flags in this movie with Peacemaker and Idris Elba's character. So you don't really need. I saw that eyebrow, Destiny, but like it's two sides of the same coin. You know what I mean? They're the same character, but two extremes. So I think there isn't really anything interesting to do with them. And I think it really served the story and made it likable. So 10 out of 10, watch it in IMAX or watch it something else. Yutaka, I did not join to fix my hair. Shut up. Okay, I will go now, but good luck. Have
Bye,
fun.
Bacon
Okay.
Boy.
Goodbye.
Oh,
It's
Liam.
fine. Yes.
before you go, plug the thing we're doing with Kyle. Hi, Kyle. Announce it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, okay. Would you like me to announce it now since you've basically said there's
Sure.
an announcement? Okay, people watching live, we have an announcement. Our fearless leader has spoken and said we can inform you.
Yep.
Thank you for coming in, interrupting me when I was about to introduce you, and then just giving us your thoughts anyway. It was happy. So yes, we are coming back on Wednesday, the 18th of August. You will notice it is no longer a Tuesday, and that's because there's someone in the room here to blame for that. He's Irish, and he has two little friends called George and Yutaka, and they stole our date. So we have moved to a Wednesday, and what will happen when we come back on that Wednesday is we will have new merch, and that new merch will be courtesy of someone else in this room, Mr. Kyle.
Woo! Woo!
Now,
I don't know what it is, but
I
that's
just
what will
want
be
to-
happening.
Sorry to interrupt again.
God.
The Wi-Fi is really shit here. I've looked at some of the things Kyle has done, and they're really, really good. And what's special about it is every single week we're gonna have a new design that is like focused on whoever the host is. So they're really, really funny. I've seen the one for Sohail for his episode. It's the one for the first episode is really good. So I'm really excited for everybody to see those. And the pink hoodie will be back. The pink hoodie will be back. So
Praise
That's
the
what
Lord for the
matters.
pink hoodie, because
Well,
yes, that is all
I
that
like-
matters.
I think my navy hoodie. I love my navy hoodie. I've worn it this entire week.
And since
It's
we're
really cozy.
doing a Suicide Squad review, you can suck a bag of dicks. It's all about the pink. As a pink lady, I'm allowed to say that.
I'm gonna
Thank
go
you.
back to my bag of dicks, which is my suitcase and unpacked. So
Okay.
yeah,
You
goodbye.
can go
Have
back
fun.
to looking like David
Bye,
Cassidy.
Bacon Boy.
Put your
Goodbye, you
headband back on.
interrupting Canadian
Goodbye.
bastard.
Bye, Burn
Goodbye.
Boy. Bye.
My exit. Oh,
Oh God, kids.
That was messy.
Oh.
That was messy.
It's always messy with Yousef. Who knows? So we've been through the list. Everyone already obviously kind of basically discussed the fact that it's political and obviously that it's shockingly evil characters. So we can move on
That's
from
the point.
that.
I mean,
Was-
one thing that you can say is like they were shocking, but it wasn't like
Well, that's the
unexpected.
point in them.
Yeah. So it was like
Shockingly good.
it was good. It was verified.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, no, there was one thing we missed. The animal cruelty. So obviously there is the scene at the beginning with the bird with Savant, and then there is
That makes sense.
the scene with the bird again, the birds.
What?
With is it the general? No, it's not the general because the general's
Yeah,
He's the
With
president
other-
now.
The
he's
new, the president, the new guy.
El Presidente. Obviously, he has
Yeah.
birds. Then he gets killed by Harley, and then
Good
the new
girl.
Presidente kills all the birds because they are pretty
Well-
and he doesn't like them. Do we
I just
class
have to
that as
say-
animal torture when it is CGI birds?
It is shocking to me how no one has ever pointed out the animal cruelty in Shrek when Fiona sings a bird to death. My goodness gracious me. Like, where are
She
my
left-
pearls? I must clutch them. Because, oh my god. Jesus.
Again, these are evil characters doing evil
That
things.
is literally what they're there for.
Shocking.
Like, the definition of a psychopath is animal cruelty. What better way to get across that this person's a dick than having him smash a ball into a bird's head? Like, a fake bird.
And I like that was well, for the first character, I like that there was actually karma after he died and the bird
Yeah.
was eating
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Why
went
is no
around.
one talking about that?
That was such a
scene.
good. That was
That
such
was
a good
such a
scene.
good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, does it
No
count
one's
as animal
talking about
cruelty
it
the way
because-
Weasel drowned? Does that count as animal cruelty? The way he fucking drowned at the beginning, but then he was fine.
Well, he lived.
cruelty
Like-
Well,
to
he lived,
child
so
eating weasel.
I know.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't that funny of a scene,
It was really
but
funny.
I was borderline crying with laughter.
It was so
Like-
funny.
Because
He
I
got
was
up
just
and he
like,
was like, "Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh, nyeh." Oh,
He was screaming, and literally nobody would help him swim, and he was just flailing around, and then he fucking died, and nobody
Poor
helped
guy.
him. It was really funny.
oh my
it
It was
just
really-
wasn't. It shouldn't be. It wasn't funny. But I was just pissing myself. And I don't know. Like, I'm pissing myself now thinking back to it. And I don't know why. Oh.
It was
Destiny.
hilarious. It was hilarious.
Yes.
Destiny, this is exactly like when Brion grunted. This is
Oh my god.
this is
Oh, don't even bring that up. I'm gonna start laughing again. Hold on.
Okay, so we've got that out of the way. And so I think we should go to the final issue that was brought to light on the interwebs prior to the film's release. The Harley. I know. We'll go discuss it. The Harley General scene.
Are we?
thing.
Chunk.
Okay, yeah.
She was groomed.
Was she though?
No,
Way.
She was manipulated for
mean, like-
selfish reasons.
Yes.
No. So
Harley always rolls with the punches. Like, the fact that she was taken prisoner, and she probably thought she was going to be killed, and then now she's in a dress. She's always wanted to be someone's princess. That's something that Harley has always wanted to be. She's always wanted to be loved. And
Yeah.
then she takes matters into her own hands, and she shoots the guy. It's
Mhm.
not a problem.
But for
I was so
her,
proud of
literally,
her.
I said that
So
as
proud.
when he got shot. I literally said, "Good girl, good for you." It was great. The theater was spaced.
yes,
But I
it was
enjoyed
an excellent. Like, I think that section was excellent. The speech that she gave was excellent.
Oh, that was so,
Oh, so good.
Do we
So
really
good.
class the build up as grooming though, when she is the one that initiated it?
It's not
Wait, did
even
she?
But even if it
Well,
was bad.
But she wasn't
Grooming is
initiated.
a different.
She obviously she
Term.
didn't initiate the interaction. He initiates the interaction by coming out of the pool
Yeah.
with looking all
Well,
glistening.
well,
and
so I guess
beautiful.
what we have to ask is like, what do we think that he was like real? Because I've seen it 3 times, and like each time I watch that scene, I think, like, I don't know, do we think that he was like actually into her? Because I don't know, every time you watch it, it's like he's kind of, because even after he dies, the general, he's like, you know, he was like a brother to me, but he was kind of a romantic. So, I mean, he was kind of like, he was like letting her in. He wasn't. I didn't see it as like his prisoner, and like she was just gonna be like a servant to him. Like he was.
Yeah.
Like, actually,
Yeah,
Unlike-
he was.
I agree.
He was.
I agree.
He was
Harley,
offering
so-
her these things.
Yeah.
He
Right.
wasn't. He wasn't saying, "Well, you're my prisoner, and you're gonna do as I say." He was
Yeah.
saying, "This is what I see you as. this is what my people see you as. This is what I want to provide for you. He wasn't saying like, you're going to take, like, I'm going to keep you here and you're going to be my fucking bride and you'll suck me dick when I want you to.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't. He was offering her things. He didn't, she was a prisoner, but so was Belle in Beauty and the Beast.
Ye
So-
old bestiality strikes again.
Bestiality and Stockholm Syndrome. How fun. So, yeah, having rewatched that scene after, because obviously I watched it first, didn't even pick up on any of that. Then obviously watched it again after obviously the internet started exploding with people saying it is grooming. So obviously I watched it trying to obviously understand, is it going to be in this new light? He isn't initiating sex. He's talking to her. He's trying to win her over to his side. And she is the one that jumps on top of him and starts ripping his clothes off. Is it grooming? If that's the case? Because I know if someone was chatting me up and I jumped on top of them and started ripping their clothes off, I would say I was probably worse than what
We have to remember that, you know, if that's classified as grooming, what did Joker do to Harley? Isn't that worse? You know?
Oh, significantly.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. It's significantly worse.
I don't see why that would not be a point in every single movie. I mean, let's look back at Suicide Squad 1. Well, I think it's 1. The previous one.
Yeah.
What was he doing? Obviously, he manipulated her. He wanted her as his property. What the president wanted was a proposition. He gave her a proposition saying, if you be my queen, we get all of this. Obviously, it was selfish, but I don't see it was anywhere near as grooming. It was more of a manipulation. But even that was weak in a way, but that's just my view.
Like
It's-
Matt's just popped up and said he manipulated her into thinking she wanted the D. Just putting it out there, when you look like that, you don't have to manipulate someone into wanting your D.
Okay, Liam.
But
Come
like,
on.
The fact
Yeah,
that we're
but
even
you
the fact that
don't.
we're even having this conversation
I
is
know.
like it's
I
like
know.
such
It's
a
We all
ridiculous.
know
non-point.
who started it, though.
Yeah.
it is such a non-point, but
Yeah.
it is something that has grown exponentially because one person said it.
But what you guys don't realize is that the fact that Harley liked it means that all women liked it, and that is a problem. Okay, that reflects women as a whole. Okay,
Right.
it's such a
Yeah.
huge problem. The fact that Harley Quinn, the woman who represents every woman on the planet, was open to this. It's just, I'm so upset with James Gunn. He can't write women. He can't write Harley Quinn. I have such a big problem with this. DC splinters their fan base.
So I do
So
feel bad
happy
because
when he
obviously
was
it is
shot,
just
though.
it is just the I was going to call myself a man then. I'm like, am I?
Ooh.
It is just obviously the males screaming that we don't think it is.
Mm.
Obviously, I know, Natalia, you've said you do see it as grooming.
Yeah. Oh.
Why? Just
No.
obviously
I-
to provide an understanding. Why do you see that as grooming?
I think it mostly has to do with how do I phrase this correctly? It's going based off a lot of what you guys have said about how Harley is always looking for, she works best, I think, to me as a duo. Granted, she works the best in any case when she's with Ivy because she's not being abused. So, you know, chaotic bisexual, here we come. Please, God, I can't believe they still haven't done anything with that. That's freaking horrible.
It might never happen because of
stop
these
it.
numbers. Like,
Really?
genuinely. Would you make another movie if it made less than Birds of Prey? A James Gunn movie made less than a Kathy Yan movie. Like, think about
Oh
that.
my god.
We don't know that.
That's
I didn't even think
so
about it
sad.
in those terms. And honestly, at the end of, well, I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't think a Birds of Prey movie should even exist with Harley. I think that was the issue. It should have been Gotham City
Yeah.
Sirens from the start.
Yes.
You should already have Ivy. Oh my god. So irritating to me. So irritating to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, even if it was, go ahead, Ben.
I was just gonna say they should have just said to Margot Robbie, and then you can. But you should have just said, "Yo, we want to make a Gotham City Sirens movie because those are really big characters. You can't make a Birds of Prey movie. You are not a Birds of Prey member. You do not work with that team. You're not a hero. Make Gotham City Sirens, and we will make $1 billion."
I was thinking about that. I wonder if it's also too because Gotham City Sirens includes not just Ivy but Catwoman, and I think they need. I don't know because Catwoman is obviously a big Batman character, so they need to there needs to be the link between Catwoman and Batman, which is Ben Affleck still in this universe. So I think that's
This is so
complicated.
complicated.
So I
for no
I can
reason.
understand it kind of why they'd be hesitant, but come on, it's
Well, when they were making
wants.
this movie, they still kind of had Ben Affleck. Like this was just after, they kind of had him, but they basically threw Ben Affleck away. They could just do Zoe Kravitz and say, you know what, we don't really care about these universes. Just put her in there. You've already cast a Catwoman. People she looks like Catwoman. People are going to like Zoe Kravitz. You may as well put her with an actress that people are going to like as well, which is Margot Robbie's Harley. Well, do they like her? Her movies don't make any money, so maybe they don't like her that much.
But what's the point of that
She's pretty
Batwoman
solid.
movie? I mean, what's going to be the hook?
Yeah,
It's going to get me to see it. Without Batman, she's nothing. Controversial.
It's not that these characters aren't good and they can't stand on their own. They do, but you need to have that Batman connection there somewhere because he's what connects them all, and he's what makes it feel there's there could be a Batman update in this comic or this show or this movie. That's what makes it. That's what gives the energy to it. But there isn't any of it.
I would say it's in this vein. It's if they made a movie about Loki, but there was no Thor in it from the start. It'd be well, he's a Thor character. He's a kind of a sub character of that world. Obviously the Loki show makes sense because
they were able to do that because they developed him for years.
Yeah.
Right.
I would still be happy with Catwoman without Batman.
Same.
I would too.
Only if she looks like Michelle Pfeiffer.
This is not even.
Yeah. If they bring back Michael Keaton and they don't bring back Michelle Pfeiffer, when it ends on a cliffhanger that she is alive in Batman Returns, and if this is if the Flash is a sequel to Batman Returns and they don't bring that back, what the hell?
Deep breath,
What the hell?
boys.
Honestly, this is just Warner Brothers DC at this point. It's just a mess. I just don't know how to put it together because it's everywhere.
They just need to
It's
sell
so
it.
rushed, but nothing's connected and.
Yeah, basically. So we should. We've mined the controversial topics. Controversy over. Let's go back to just normal things. Was there a particular scene, shall we say, that stood out for anyone over the rest? Go on, Sohail.
I would say the Harley Quinn action sequence.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would show she was at the moment she was fighting, and then you see blossoms and color and birds, animation, and you're oh, that's what's happening in her mind, but we're seeing it for on screen. So I was I want more of that, please, and I think the game that's coming out, Suicide Squad 2022, Kill the Justice League. Yeah, I can't wait for that because I hope because they have King Shark, excuse me, in that, which I thought I was why do they have this character? Obviously, I'm not a comic book reader, but after this movie, I'm very excited for that. And they show her beating up people, and you see flowers coming out. So it's a good Easter egg, if that's what you call one, to be honest. But yeah, I would say that sequence was really good.
Good. Ben, I seen you had one.
For me, the entire third act, just from being in Jotunheim to how that escalates, but particularly Suicide Squad versus Starro, because they realistically managed to make a very emotional third act. They managed to make this starfish versus it seemed doable that they could take down this starfish. They did it in a very real, it really seemed like they had it in them to do it. Now, they had casualties, as they had for the entire film, but they still managed to do it. It wasn't them
What?
versus the Enchantress,
I know.
like they realistically stood no chance against her. They'd stand no chance against Supergirl either, if that was going to be a version of the script. But against Starro, the way they managed to pull it off, and particularly Ratcatcher 2's moment with the rats, she became one of my favorite, definitely my favorite DCEU character, but one of my favorite superheroes, period, in that moment. And Daniela Melchior deserves, I assume she will be a Blue Ribbon nominee at the end of the year. I truly
Yes.
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 Oh yeah, I would assume we would be doing that because
Definitely.
she was just so good. And I
Yeah.
didn't expect it, like, just at all. Because I was just like, oh, rats.
Thank you, Idris Elba.
We just, Sebastian.
Oh, Sebastian.
My heart
Sebastian, I love him.
cries for Sebastian. He was just
The cutest boy.
so cute.
Yeah. Little wave.
When he offered him the leaf, it was just so lovely.
That was cute. That was very cute.
And
I hate rodents, but that was cute.
they're awful, aren't they? Except guinea pigs. Guinea pigs are the cutest.
Oh, they're the worst. Oh,
I had gerbils when I was a
Shut up,
child.
fish boy.
And one of the gerbils ate the other gerbil.
at least
and
fish are
the gerbil
clean.
died.
Cannibalism?
So weird.
Jesus Christ, Ben.
What is happening?
It died. It died after that. It was really weird. My parents just told me your gerbil ate the other one. I'm not sure if it's 100% true, but that's what they've always told me. And I've asked them at the age of 16, yo, was that actually true? Did that happen? And they've said yes. So yeah, rodents are weird.
I mean, I
if
know
anything is
rats.
going to.
That's what they say when they accidentally like kill your gerbil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
think-
two of them though, so I like you could accidentally kill one, but two is maybe a push.
Yeah, I think they hoovered up your gerbils, mate.
If only that would be so funny.
The more you know.
Anyway.
So now that we've getting over Ben's childhood trauma,
Yeah, I've had no pets since.
understandable. You can't take care of them. Jack, did you have a particularly memorable scene?
Mine would be the same. Ratcatcher's third act moment was, I think, the emotional center of the movie and the emotional climax. So that would be my
Good.
moment.
Good. Does anyone have anything different?
Go
In
ahead, Natalia.
in the same scene, in earlier, when Polka Dot Man dies, first of all, I was freaking heartbroken. I loved that scene right before, and he was like actually like making some damage on one of the little legs. I don't know, starfish.
Bits.
Yeah, one of the little bits. And then he was like, "I'm a superhero." Like that part got to me, and he just and then he got
I know, it was really upsetting, wasn't it?
so sad. They could have, God, out of all, like, so
I wish Polka Dot Man had survived.
Yeah,
truly
on top
like
of that, that I love Polka Dot Man. And I want to say shout out to, I had to look it up, Lynn Ash, who plays Polka Dot's mom.
Oh, she looks so familiar. Wait, what
I
is she
thought
in?
she-
Let me IMDb her.
No, I don't think she's in anything, which is like the funny part. I looked her up and she's in like all these like weird things you would never see. But I thought that gag throughout the whole thing was so funny.
Yeah.
And I love
Funny
how
or misogynistic, Kyle? I mean, come on now, truly think about it.
right? Yeah. I guess I'm a misogynist. But I thought it was so funny when you see his giant mom and when he like starts shooting her leg and then she grabs her leg and she's in pain. And then you see all the other infected people doing that. I love that. Rick Flag's death was really well done. A lot of good like little lines in this movie, like, you know, Peacemaker, what a joke. I thought that was a good line. And even the cutaway scene in that third act with Ratcatcher, where we see Taika Waititi and young Ratcatcher 2 up at the top of Portugal, and she's like, "Why rats, Papa?" And he's like, "Well, rats are the most despised things in the world, and if they have purpose, then so do we all." I thought that was such a nice, touching thing. I don't know.
And it was very unexpected for like.
Yeah. And it was so beautiful, just
What
the
it
whole
was.
scene. And then like even the music, I love the music in that scene. I looked it up and it's called Ratism is the song that they composed for that. It's called Ratism, and it goes so well, and just I just really like this movie. Every time I watch it, it gets better, I think.
I
It
love
took me
King
a long
Shark.
time to find that song, so I had to find it on YouTube, and then I favorited it. It's a really good
Yeah,
song.
Lynn
You know King Shark's
Ash.
moment.
Lynn Ash.
Oh, go ahead with
Lynn
Lynn
Ash is in Doom Patrol. She plays Carol. I don't know if that means anything to anyone, probably to the wife and maybe Ben. She was also in I, Tonya as Sean's mom. Fear Street. Uniontown ellipses. It's not finishing my sentence. And yeah, that's it.
I think the only person who I think that woman looks familiar is Dorothy. Has like her first period because like she's been around for hundreds of years, but the way that she ages was so she's like 11, but she gets her first period, and I think there's this really lovely woman who like walks into the bathroom with her. But when Dorothy ages, when she comes of age, Dorothy's a huge threat, so she says it's really bad and like, oh, this is so terrible. But this woman's like, no, it's not. Like it's okay, and she gives her clothes and she's really nice to her. I think that's her. It looks like her. I need to go look back and look at that scene.
I think you're right, Ben. I think you're right.
I don't know. I don't watch this crap.
Doom Patrol season 2, masterpiece. But
I would.
King Shark scene. You know King Shark when he's in the aquarium and
that's literally. I was just about to say that is my favorite scene because them little squishy, squishy things. I want them as a cuddly toy. But it was
without the teeth.
I'll put the teeth on them.
Yeah, put the teeth in. Leave them in.
Fuck out, they're mine. It was just so hot when we were just good friends. I just loved King Shark like the whole way through. Like
the moment that we saw him with the book, I was like, oh, he's going to be a classic.
Yeah,
he's the best.
Upside down the book. Oh, I love that.
And like, and then when he's on the like, and then he's like starting to. When they're putting everything in the truck and he's just going, I'll wear a mustache.
I thought it was actually going to be like a detective mustache, but it was just the moment he says he's on the comms and then he interrupts and says bird. And then
I also like when he said "see" and they're like, "Oh, he's learning Spanish." So yeah, I loved all of that. I just loved King Shark in general.
I love when he picked people up and just ate them. That was just so funny. Yeah. He picked them up and nom.
Look, you know what I thought about King Shark?
He just had that head in its mouth, and I was like, "Shit, what's happening?" I love
Speaking
that
of
one
that
as well.
head, right? He actually like savored that. He actually ate it throughout. If you saw it, he was still munching on it. So I was like, at least this guy
like a lolly.
He at least eats everything.
Like a chew toy.
Yeah.
You know what? One more thing I want to say real quick is what I also liked is that Harley there was a purpose for the javelin at the very end. Like I thought that was so great. Like she was the one that like broke through the eyeball and then
I wish
so all
she
the
kept
rats
it.
can get in. So I thought
she
was quite good with that javelin. I would appreciate that being
javelin in the eyeball, and it's like it'd be so cool if she brought that into other movies because if she's not going to always have her mallet, which for some reason they don't always give her. If she's not going to always have that, then she may as well just keep that javelin because there's a story purpose for it. And then it would be another way to make it a larger universe and say, whenever we see Harley again, we see the javelin. Oh, that's the javelin from the Suicide Squad.
Ben, Warner Brothers won't do that because they don't like DC.
I don't know. I mean, I think the fact that she like found her purpose for it, and then I mean, I thought that was just a good enough moment for the movie. Yeah, let it go.
I still would have liked it because I think she was quite good with it. With using it. I also really liked the Milton scene.
Yeah.
And then
I was confused. I was like, who is Milton? I forgot.
I also like the callback to it. When she's talking to Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Bloodsport.
Idris Elba.
And she's like, oh, whatever, Milton. Just get Milton.
But I could be your friend, Milton.
That's it. I was fucking pissing myself.
And she's like, we've just had a 5-minute conversation about how your name is Milton. And
no, it was like a 3-hour conversation.
3 hour, yeah.
So yes, so them ones. I think before we open it up and we'll look back through
Destiny,
the questions.
what are your favorite scenes?
Yeah, Destiny, Jack.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
yes. I asked Jack. Dick.
Oh, sorry. Destiny.
Sorry, Destiny.
Oh, okay. So I think I would say a couple favorite scenes, maybe at the end, the helmet fighting scene. And I think, I really love third act because I also like the connection of the 8 minutes earlier and the way that came together. And I think it actually is 8 minutes. So that's pretty cool. I think those are, and also actually not the Harley fight scene, even though I do love it. I just loved how she escaped because I just loved, oh God, I just love that so much. I love how it all came together with Harley. It was awesome.
Who's definitely in more than a third of the movie, by the way.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, right?
To
what the
everyone's
hell?
shock and awe.
So before we open it up to the questions that are in the live chat,
AKA
I think
Matt.
we should, AKA Matt, yeah, it's always Matt.
Hi, Matt.
I think we should go around the room and we'll individually say our favorite character. However, I'm giving you a challenge because I know multiple people are probably going to want to say more than one person. You can only say one person. And I will start with Kyle because he looks like the most person who's trying to figure it out.
I mean, I've already said what my ties are. I guess I'm gonna say Sebastian is my favorite character because he was after like rewatching it.
Yes.
He was leading the whole army of rats up into Starro, and I was like, I was so proud of him. Yeah, Sebastian.
I like that. Natalia, go because you also looked in pain at having to be given one person.
God. I think Polka Dot Man. Not just because he died, but partially because of that. I think he was a really good character. I liked his rash, and I liked how it got like progressively worse after we now knew what it was. Like that was solid 10 out of 10. And he didn't have that many lines, but everything that he delivered was like very monotoned and just like very like, and I love that. It was so well delivered. David Dastmalchian for the win.
Agreed. Destiny.
Oh man. I would say my favorite character, probably Ratcatcher 2. Oh man, it's just so hard to name one person. But yeah, I think Ratcatcher 2 takes the number one, even though I have so many people close together. I just loved her. I loved her in the final. I loved her throughout the movie, but I loved her in the final act and how her power came together. Because honestly, when it was even announced that she would be a character, I was not sure how that would factor in. I loved her connection with Bloodsport, and that she just seemed like such a good. Out of all the evil characters, he was such a good person, honestly.
I appreciate it. I love it. Which of the boys should we pick? Let's go with Jack and his alligator.
I think I'm between Ratcatcher and Bloodsport just because they're the emotional center of the movie. But I think since Ratcatcher might be said more, I'll say Bloodsport. I thought all of his little gadgets and stuff on his entire suit I thought were really cool throughout the whole movie, especially in the third act, like the bow and arrow, the different guns he like assembled together. And yeah, I thought he had the biggest arc throughout the movie too, I think. So
I did appreciate how exceedingly British is Idris Elba made him as well. Like when he's fallen from that when he like shoots the thing into the rock and then falls down through the building, and like you can just before he goes to fall, he says "oh fuck" in the most British of ways, and it made my heart so happy. Ben, go on.
For me, it's no question Ratcatcher 2. I loved Polka Dot Man. I loved King Shark. I really liked Harley Quinn in Bloodsport, but there's no question that Ratcatcher 2 was the MVP of this movie. And if she's not in any more DC movies, that would be a crime. I want to see her interact with not just Harley Quinn. I want to see her interact with the Birds of Prey if they ever come back. Probably not at this point. I want to see her interact with Leslie Grace as Batgirl. I want to see her interact with everyone. She is one of the greatest characters that DC has in their arsenal right now. And Daniela Melchior is a superstar. No question, Ratcatcher 2.
Yes.
Good. Sohail, go ahead.
Now For the
I
fish.
mean, there are three, but I would say because I was having some time to marinate the movie in my head, and I was like, Ratcatcher 2, I think she saved everyone. So I think that she would be my favorite, but she had a good backstory. And just the moment I saw her, she was sleeping, and then she woke up, I was like, that's me. I can see myself there. And then John Cena saying millennial, I'm like, get the heck, and she doesn't come out as a bad boss, a bossy lady. She comes out being like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Here's my rat, everyone say hi. It's like, what a nice person. She's an anti-hero to me, and I concur with Ben and Destiny that she needs to come back. She has to come back. And this is an example of Warner Brothers taking a character that I did not know and frankly would not have cared about, and they made that character likable and just fit in this world. And so if anything needs to be congratulated, it'd be making Ratcatcher a favorite of mine. And with that being said, I'll have to leave yous. And
oh yes, you've got to go by now. Yep.
Yeah.
Good night.
I'll just give you my rating. I'll say
yes.
I'll give it a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10.
Not bad for you.
Okay, for you,
Yeah.
that is a very good score.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Sohail.
I love how nobody has said Peacemaker, and he's the only character that we know for a fact is coming back. He's the only one.
I wouldn't
don't
like him.
Look.
I
liked
wouldn't
it.
say he is my favorite,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed watching him, and I think he will make an interesting series.
I think he's a very good character because he is quite literally the personification of American imperialism as a caricature. We're not
That's
meant
exactly
to like
that.
him.
It's like if Dick
We
Cheney
are
was a
meant to
superhero.
be like, our country, why we do this. We are meant to comment.
That's
on-
like literally
that is the point of him.
Well, and that's the villain of the movie if you think about it. Like even at the end when they kill Starro, he says like
I just
I was
wanted
happy floating
look at
around
you.
staring at the stars. So
Yeah.
the fact that American astronauts like came and kidnapped him basically was the whole reason that any of this shit happened. So
When in doubt, imperialism, America edition.
Yeah.
right.
He's a very complex character, and I'm happy. Look, I do think that when I saw the end credits scene, I was like, I see how this is going to work. And like, I was happy that he was coming back because I think there's a really interesting thing. He's going to make for a really interesting series. That being said, literally, Ratcatcher, Polka Dot Man, Harley Quinn,
Yeah.
King Shark, Bloodsport, follow up with any of them. We've no assurances that they're ever coming back. And with the box office, it's unlikely that they will. So if the last we see of this sort of incarnation of the Suicide Squad is Peacemaker, that would be disappointing unless it has like sick legs. But it would need to have, for an R-rated movie never has legs. Predator open at 25 million, not cratered. I see this happening with the Suicide Squad as well.
We'll have to ask Yousef. Oh no, he's not there anymore. He moved. Damn.
Yeah.
So I will quickly give my favorite character just before, because I do have now one more question, just because someone mentioned something in the chat and it sparked me that we haven't discussed it. So I was also torn between two, and because Sebastian said the one, because Kyle said. Because Kyle said Sebastian, who was going to be my pick, I'm going to pick King Shark.
No way.
Nanawe was just the cutest.
The best
Like,
boy.
I just want to be his friend.
Mm.
Or he could eat this. There's a lot on me.
Yeah,
He would get a
either
nice
way.
healthy meal from it. So quickly before I know Wes Edward could do the obviously the favorite character, then move on. Quickly before we do that, because it got mentioned, Waller and her people. We haven't discussed any of the Waller scenes. Did anyone
Oh.
have any thoughts on them?
Oh, I thought they were. I really. Oh man. At the end of the movie, I really love Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. I think she is just utter perfection. Like oh my gosh, I thought this portrayal of Amanda Waller was perfect, just down to even the evil things she was doing. She's not a good person either. I feel like that's the thing you should remember.
She's not meant to be.
Exactly. So she's not. So I like that they portrayed that, but I know there's a portrayal at the end with Amanda like her people, but I don't know how I feel about that actually.
Well, I actually thought that Jennifer Holland was actually a good actress, and it wasn't just Jennifer. Well, it wasn't just James Gunn putting his girlfriend in the movie. I actually thought she was pretty decent. I liked.
Oh,
Steve
that's
McGee.
Blondie, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I didn't think she was bad at all. Like, I don't think she would ever be cast in a movie without James Gunn. But if you get cast, you get cast. She looked out, and I actually thought she was pretty damn good in the movie. And I also really liked Steve McGee and that other woman whose name I don't know.
I've always liked him, Steve McGee, because I was first introduced to him in the Sarah Silverman show, and then obviously then he was like a recurring character on New Girl. So I've always liked him as an actor because I thought he was quite amusing. And then obviously in this, I was like, oh, you're still the sermon. I like you for it. Do people think it's bad at the way obviously Amanda Waller's character ended? Apart
Waller
from
wouldn't
the
take that.
amazing actual scene where she is betrayed, can we just point out like how funny when like obviously that's over with and they're like quickly like jumping back onto their desks to like help out the Suicide Squad, and then the woman who's knocked Amanda out just turns around and goes, "Get the satellites, you fucking dick!" Like, I choked on my drink because I did not see that coming. It was hilarious. So apart from that, do we think the way that played out was bad, or do we think it was good?
I don't think Waller would ever take that. But I don't think she's had her revenge yet, because you'll notice you did not see the woman who knocked her out. Yeah, you didn't see her at the end of the movie when we saw Waller conscious, and you didn't see her with Jennifer Holland in the end credit scene. She may have gotten her revenge, and we may see it in Peacemaker. We could see it.
My assumption was we are going to see it in Peacemaker.
That would be great if Amanda Waller's in Peacemaker. I would love that. I hope.
Yeah.
I will watch it if that is the case.
I'm gonna watch it anyway.
I was going to watch it anyway because Peacemaker, although he isn't my favorite character, he made very good.
Carefully.
I'm trying to like he made the film kind of thing. Like if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had as much
tension.
The tension wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for his character. Yeah. So I do think he can provide something good for a TV show. And hopefully he'll be back in his tighty whities. So now that we've done that, let's go to the chat. I will scroll back up and we will see what questions we have and who can answer them and want to answer them. So I did say, where's my take my money? Oh, Matt confirmed. We must have said, it was probably me. I've probably said something bad because Matt said, Utakas put y'all getting cancelled. Probably.
Oh, that was smack in the beginning. He's got to be more specific.
Right. I mean, Natalia, it was probably me or you that said something. Oh, it could have been about the Harley Quinn, like the way you said, like, you know, she probably wanted it the way you said that, Liam, you know, because of the way the guy looked. There was probably that.
Yeah. As I said, it was probably something I said. Because let's be honest, I'm not exactly
PC.
The word. There.
Are any of us really?
NC-17.
Oh, I'm much more than
NC-17.
Oh, God.
He's X-rated, like many
that one.
X-rated.
Many X's, literally. So, Matt, but speaking of King Shark, do you prefer a dumb King Shark or a more intelligent King Shark?
I love Harley Quinn. That show is one of my favorite shows ever. I do like King Shark on that show. I also loved King Shark in this movie. Both are great. I have to say, since I've seen more of the Harley Quinn version, I'd lean towards that, but that's because he's had 2 seasons. This guy's had 1 movie and he made a great impact. I loved him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dumb, strong boy, good.
Yeah, I like it. And to be
With
fair,
friends.
King Shark in the Harley Quinn animated series isn't exactly intelligent.
No.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of an issue for me. Next one. Do you think it was a good idea to kill Starro? And do you think he could come back in another movie?
I mean, that whole Starro shit really gets me because Destiny and I watch Young Justice and he pops up every now and then as if he cannot die. So he will most likely be back again. And I get mad as shit whenever he turns up in that freaking show. Because I'm like, what the fuck?
That's true.
That's
Well,
true.
he's an alien, so there's probably more like him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're quite small up until they start taking over people. So
Right.
could be another one floating out in space, ready for America. Next question. What's a DC character you'd like to see join the Suicide Squad if another movie gets made? I think with this one, we should go round. Calm, Benjamin. We'll go round the room. And I'm going to go first because I haven't yet. And I know somebody else is probably going to say this person. I want Killer Frost in the Suicide Squad live action because Killer Frost is the shit. And her powers would be amazing. Imagine it.
I love
evil Elsa.
Oh, damn you, Liam.
I know. You're welcome. So I will chuck this to Jack because he hasn't said much for a while.
I was also going to say Killer Frost, but I guess maybe Poison Ivy then.
Don't you dare take my Pammy from me, you little shit. What's wrong with you?
They're the 2 obvious ones.
In Destiny, since you dressed like Poison Ivy the other day, we'll go to you next.
I was gonna say Poison Ivy first, but then I thought, God, you have to give me more time to think about this. You just
I got
took
one
both
that
my
nobody.
I was going to say both Kyle and Ben have one, so go on, guys.
I was looking at like just when I was like researching this because I thought it was cool that the John Ostrander who like wrote the original, well not the original, but like what we know as the Suicide Squad today. He was in the movie as the doctor who put the bomb in Savant's head. But anyway, I was looking back at like those old comics and stuff, and Vixen was a character in the Suicide Squad for a while. I would love to see a live action version of Vixen.
I love Vixen.
I'd be
I think
down
she'd be
for
really
that.
cool. Either her or Katana from the first one, because I wish we saw more of her.
Yeah. I was obsessed
Where's
with
Yousef?
Katana.
Who's got that video? This is Katana.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Katana from the first movie. She was my favorite character in the first movie. I loved her, even though she was barely in it. I always wanted her to have her own solo movie. I wished she was in Birds of Prey. She really should have been. That was a missed opportunity. But I will go next, and I think that if Deathstroke was the mission in the third movie, like if he was the bad guy that they were all trying to take down, I'd love to see the squad try and take on Deathstroke with a new addition of Yahya Abdul-Mateen's the second Black Manta. I would love to see him join the squad. That would be really, really cool. Because he's the only villain that I can remember from any of the other movies that I could see popping up. I think Doomsday's gone. He's dead. The Wonder Woman villains were all in the past. As much as I'd like to see Cheetah on the Suicide Squad, can't happen because it's in the past. Patty Jenkins, you bitch. You can't really have it. So.
Okay. Destiny, go on. I was trying to figure out whether you would need more time, but
oh no, I'm good. I think this is the person, since everyone just took all my ideas. But
same. Now you know how it feels.
I would say Live Wire. That's the person who pops into my head
yes,
after
she's
Killer
good.
Frost. I have to say it before that. Yeah, Livewire.
I'm still looking through this fucking list. Y'all don't fucking worry about me. God, I'm mad.
Shock, Natalia doesn't have an answer.
I don't know. You took all of the ladies.
Just say Condiment
I
King.
had to pick a lady.
Oh yeah, Condiment King.
Kite
that
Man.
would be fun.
Hell
Man.
yeah.
Oh my god, yes, Kite Man.
What a sweetheart.
Would anyone like to add anything? Well, Natalia
I'll keep
bees
looking.
Natalia.
God, I'm
I'm
so
trying to think of
irritated.
the other movies that you could pick from, but DC's had such few. The only one I could think of realistically is Deathstroke and Black Manta, because I don't really think the Dr. Savannah from Shazam would be a great addition to a Suicide Squad team. I'm trying to think of movies in the future, some villains that you could take from, but I really can't think of any because you got Aquaman 2, you got Shazam 2. Hell, the Mirren's not going to be in the Suicide Squad movie. The Batman's in a different universe. Flash, the villain's another version of Barry Allen. Thank you, Christina Hodson. We really appreciate you taking from the comics there. So I don't really see anyone. I don't see anyone in the future who could join except for Black Manta and Deathstroke. So that's it. Unless they were introduced people like they were in this movie, which I'd be fine with because that worked out great.
What about Earbud Thorne? Is that his name?
Eobard
Reverse
Thorne?
Flash.
Yeah, but he's not going to be in the Flash movie because
I know, but we're not saying like people that are already in the DCEU. We're just saying like generally, is there anyone that they could bring into it that could be quite fun? I think Reverse Flash could be quite fun.
I thought of another person, but Nat's gonna get mad at me if I say who.
God.
Say it.
Which woman do you have now?
No, but it's a man. But I would say Count Vertigo.
He looks so much better in this season, and we all know it.
We know it.
Dracula ass looking man. God, I don't know. I really want a lady, but all the ladies have been taken.
Maybe Talia al Ghul could be a cool one.
I was good.
Yeah, Talia, but like I always just kind of see her with Raish.
You can agree with some of us, you know. You don't have to.
I
come up
know,
with
but I
an
want to pick
original.
one. But everyone took them. I'll go with the Pammies and the Killer Frosts of the world.
Starfire, maybe. You know, maybe Starfire could be cool.
Blackfire? Has Blackfire ever been on the squad?
Blackfire
could be
Blackfire's on the squad now, bitches. Let's go.
There we go.
We got there eventually.
So, next question. What's a mission you'd like to see the Suicide Squad go on next?
Neutralize Deathstroke.
There we go. We have one.
I think they should just go up against the Justice League. I don't care how impossible it probably is to make. Like, I would just love to see that.
I mean, it would be amazing to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But Warner Brothers doesn't really have a Justice League because they don't want to do.
I know. I said I don't
Snyder
care.
anymore.
I just want to see it.
I want to see it too. That would be deadly. But again, Warner Brothers is just so fucked. They're not gonna they can't use Ray Fisher because they don't want to bring him back because they're not going to admit they were wrong, and they can't use Ben Affleck anymore because they're kind of getting rid of him. So what it would be: Supergirl, no Henry Cavill, Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, no Batman except if they brought Michael Keaton into it as the Batman. Blue Beetle, Shazam. Why? Yeah, why would you do that?
Will finally be on the big screen.
Yeah.
He won't be though.
No.
If he's in this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If he's in that, yeah. That could get him on the big screen.
That could get him on the big screen.
Does anybody, Destiny, do you have a thing that you would like them to do?
Honestly, I'm just gonna take Kyle's idea and say Suicide Squad versus Justice League because I don't have any original ideas that are popping into my head right now, and that sounds pretty cool to me. Even though it will never happen, but yeah.
We can dream.
I want them to get their comeuppance on Waller. I don't want them to kill her. I just, some comeuppance would be nice.
Just a smidge.
This is true.
Just a smidge.
You know, what if Waller sent them on a mission to LexCorp to take out a project, but the project turns out to be them working on Connor Superboy? And
oh my god, that would be so awesome.
Project Canvas, here we come.
That'd be cool.
I like it.
So
Jack,
many possibilities.
do you have an idea or want to need?
I don't know. Maybe if like another country made their own metahuman team and Amanda Waller didn't like it, they could have her try and go take them out or something.
We did just get Russian Justice League. Or
Yeah.
rather, I just got Russian Justice League. Because I'm still watching Young Justice. It's not going well, kids.
Okay. So next question. I don't know if you guys have answered this, but do you think they wasted actors like F at sign? Oh, Flula Borg and Pete Davidson.
Why did you do that to Flew the Borg?
Do you think they wasted these actors?
They
Basically.
definitely wasted them, but look, they weren't supposed to last for long. That being said, I do wish they had more to do. I would love Flula Borg in the Suicide Squad movie. Sounds incredible, you know. But look, the purpose of his character was to be a red shirt. So the actors were wasted. I think that Michael Rooker was definitely wasted. Jai Courtney was definitely wasted.
What
and I
a
even
shame.
think that Weasel was wasted to a degree. I would have loved to have seen him in the whole movie. But look, it is what
That
it
would
is.
have been fun.
Yeah, it is what it is.
They could
But
only
they definitely
have
wasted
2 giant animals.
There is that. The money. The money. Is there, next question, is there any part of this movie that you didn't like? For me, no.
I thought the English to Spanish translation was kind of wonky. But I don't know if there was anything that like happened in the movie that I vehemently disagreed on, like some people.
I got like a little bored sometimes, but that's because I was just really tired when I was watching the movie. Like I had a very long few days, and then I went to go see the movie. I should have waited an extra day, but I was really excited and I was really tired, so I got bored like a little bit in different places, but it wasn't that big of a deal. I just got a small bit bored.
Yeah, I was about to say there were some parts, but not even like whole 30-minute sections, maybe just 5-minute sections or less that kind of lagged a bit. And then, but honestly, I think it's also because I just love the animated show of Harley Quinn, and that's just, I love that Harley Quinn. So sometimes with this Harley Quinn, even though I really, really love Margot Robbie, it's like, man, I wish this was like the animated Harley Quinn would come in here. But other than that, nothing that I just hated about this movie.
Yeah, it is difficult to like have to keep separating the versions because like I think we can happily say all of us here do enjoy that animated version, so it would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice to have that live action version, but shit happens. Jack, anything for you?
I'd just say most of the deaths I think were predictable, but they were still good deaths overall, just from the trailer and stuff. When they show those in the trailer, they show the obvious 5 last people who have survived. And you kind of know they're going to be the last 5.
Yeah. Kyle?
Not really. I mean, I think most of it is pretty solid. I think I might agree, you know, that I kind of wish that Amanda Waller wasn't humiliated in that way. I guess, you know, I mean, it's a small like nitpick, but I think, she's very evil. So to have her like excuse that and just be sitting in her office with an ice pack was it was a little bit of a stretch, but whatever.
I will agree. I didn't have one, but I will agree. I think it would have been better if they'd put in a mid-credit scene of Amanda Waller getting revenge.
Yeah.
Well, look,
I think it would have made people a little bit. I think it would have took away some of the sourness. Like, yeah, she probably is going to get her revenge in the Peacemaker show.
Yeah.
But it would have took away that little hint of sourness.
She's a very calculated person, very cold and calculated. She'll get it done. I don't think she'd ever let something like that go.
Oh no, I don't. I think she will. Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll see it someday. And again, the woman who did it, we didn't see her after she did that. After Waller was conscious, we did not see her. So you never know.
Natalia, anything from you?
No, not outside the wonky translations and the Waller bit.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So next question. Did you catch any Easter eggs and what was your favorite one?
Just the reference to Birds of Prey for me. I had road rage, so like she probably hit someone with that car, got in prison again. On the Suicide
She
Squad
said
again.
she had road rage in a bank, so I think she like crashed into a bank or something.
Didn't she say her dogs died too?
Yeah.
What?
She
I
said
think she
Yes.
did.
she
That
had,
Joker
like,
killed
did.
dog?
yeah.
She did.
Her dog.
Said that when
Yes.
guys that they
After
killed-
she killed Fulanito.
yeah, she
She
said
had a
that
dog?
she says that the
Hell
guys
yeah.
that she dates
My
say that she has
God.
awful taste in music and they kill her dogs. And it was a part of her speech when she killed him.
If those dogs are dead, Warner Brothers.
The
does not-
hyenas?
I was going to say, I
Those-
thought she had hyena.
Yeah, if that's
Yeah.
what she's talking about,
Oh, okay.
then these people do not deserve to be in control of Harley Quinn.
I
Oh,
think
no,
that was just
hyena
a
needs to be
thing she
alive.
said. I don't think it was to pay
It
much
better
attention.
be. It really better be.
Oh, that's fine.
It really, Jesus.
Destiny, as our resident like DC person, was there any Easter eggs that like clocked your eye and you were like, oh, I see you?
Wait, what? Am I actually the resident DC person? I didn't
No,
know
I don't know.
this.
I
I
all
don't
of
know.
us.
I don't know. I just said it.
Excuse me. Not like I have like
It's the both
Right,
of
because
you.
Kyle's right there. But Easter eggs, honestly, with this, I've only gotten to watch it the once, so I did not catch like related to the comics, no, but I did catch like the Harley, Birds of Prey reference back, and God, there was something else that I'm forgetting, but I wasn't watching that closely the first time. I just want to make sure that I was paying attention to the movie.
Okay, Kyle, so that I don't offend you, as the actual DC aficionado, did you catch any Easter eggs?
I think there was one when they're running through I forget what they're going through Bel Rev prison, and I think they're just like walking through to go meet King Shark or something, and then we see like a bunch of prisoners in the cafeteria, and one of the prisoners has like the weird like paint
Yeah, I
symbols
saw
on
that.
him. And I was like,
Calendar
I was so curious. I was like, who is that? Like, that's got to be somebody. So I looked it up, and I think it's supposed to be this character called Crazy Quilt. It's like another like stupid, weird, obscure Batman villain, who's actually a man, I think. But they have like the same pattern. So I think that's what
is
the
this
character-
Sean Gunn?
I thought it was
That's-
Calendar Man.
I
That's
was
a
going to
different
say
Calendar Man,
I
Sean
thought-
Gunn.
No,
February,
this character is
March.
a woman, and she has like multicolored like
Yeah.
her whole skin
oh,
is like
yes,
multicolored.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes.
Oh.
The Calendar Man is a good Easter egg too.
Okay, I did catch that one. Jack,
Yeah.
did you catch anything?
No.
No. Oh,
No,
good,
that's-
good.
no.
No.
It's nice to see that workingthefamilydick.com is safe. So, the next question again, Matt. Do you think something like Supergirl or Amazo would have been a better mission over Starro?
No, I think Star Wars.
I think Star worked.
Yeah. Are we all in agreement? Are we going
Yeah.
with group consensus of yes?
I think
Cool.
Ben made a good point that they probably couldn't realistically like fight either of those other characters. I don't know.
Yeah. Although Amazo is too similar to Taskmaster.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you can't do that. And Supergirl, we haven't seen her, and we're seeing her in the Flash, and she's, we know she's not. So if anyone, it should be Connor, Superboy,
Yeah.
that they have to
Yeah.
fight, because like he's
Yay
an
for
experiment.
Destiny.
I love Superboy.
He's so
But yeah, that probably would be the only thing that would work, because I don't think Supergirl would work. Amazo. But I mean, it was interesting the way Starro came together. It made sense from the trailers. I'm like, how are they gonna do this?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I liked it.
Okay, good. Next question, but I think someone in the questions has already answered it. This is from Natalia's wife, Bryony. Did it have an end credit scene that alluded to a follow-up movie? But it's fine. Isaac has answered it. It's set up Peacemaker series on HBO Max, which we have already discussed. So again, not sure. So we've got another one from Matt. Not sure if you guys talked about it, but did anyone else catch the cabin in the woods vibes from the betting scene with Waller's people.
Yeah, totally. That was a great scene. I loved it.
It was very fun.
Apparently, our favorite Blondie didn't.
Oh
Which I
yeah.
find hilarious.
Jesus
Which-
Christ.
God.
So his next question, what project should James Gunn do next in the DCEU? I assume that means to obviously take off the board Peacemaker, but what do you think he should do as a follow-up?
Suicide Squad 2?
Harley and Ivy.
Oh no, don't do Harley and Ivy.
No, I don't trust him with women.
No.
Okay.
Honestly, I have no trust for anyone. So I have no option that I can say should do Harley and Ivy, but
Patrick Schumacher should do a live action Harley and Ivy. The guy who's behind the Harley Quinn series. Now I know it might take, he'd have to, but I mean, he's obviously very artistic. Like the show is, like it looks, like the animation is very distinct. I think he could do a Harley and Ivy, but I would maybe say James Gunn should do a Suicide Squad 2, but maybe get rid of Harley. I'm not sure. Maybe let her do her Poison Ivy thing or keep her here, but get some more big guns on the table. That's what they really need to kind of make it. So just add one or two big names. And I know James Gunn probably wants to go even more obscure, but the box office speaks for itself. Add Deathstroke, add Black Manta. Monies.
What would we think about
Monies.
if it is another Suicide Squad movie, but it brings Harley and Ivy together? So it's not actually a Harley and Ivy movie.
Yeah, you guys were
But
just
it
saying you
sets it
wanted
up.
Ivy in the next Suicide Squad. So why, like,
I
I
didn't
think
say
that would
that.
be, I don't know. I like that. I like that idea.
it could work. But then how? Because honestly, I would rather have Harley and Ivy do their thing or Gotham City Sirens. I would have to see how Harley and Ivy honestly would be in, like, how much time would they
Together?
get, what's going on there.
And then if it
Are
works
they
out well, we
highlighted?
could
Do
do
they-
ensemble.
I'd
Yeah,
love to
they
see
could-
her fight Joker, Jared Leto. Like I actually would like to see that, but I don't
Her
think they want-
Harley or her.
Harley and Ivy versus Joker as a movie.
Cool.
Awesome.
Oh,
That'd be
the
good.
Zack
hell
Snyder's
yeah.
Justice League.
It writes
The Zack Snyder's
itself.
or I want him to be like the Joker in the credit scene for Zack Snyder's Justice League, because I didn't really like him in Suicide Squad, but I knew he had potential. I want him to be more. Honestly, I'd like to see Zack Snyder's version of Harley Quinn. I think he could do
Yeah.
something very interesting with that character. I think his visuals for Poison Ivy would also be really cool. Like if anyone
Alright.
could do that, like he would do it brilliantly and beautifully.
Yeah.
And
I think
like,
James Gunn would, I don't know, because I feel like James Gunn would be quite a good person to bring Ivy to the big screen. Looking at the way that he dressed Harley and looking at the way that he's dressed, obviously, the other characters, I feel like he could give Ivy like a very accurate but new, distinct look.
I just want Pammy to wear clothes for once. You know?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
no.
why is Yousef
Fuck the
said
male
I
that?
just want-
gaze.
I want, I mean, are we
Well,
exactly
Ivy can
talking
wear
about the male
whatever she
gaze?
wants.
Yousef, this bitch is texting in the chat. Said the movie was boring. No, bitch. I was tired and got bored in like teeny tiny little segments of the movie. Destiny said the same thing. Shut your mouth. Stop lying, Yousef. Okay, someone send that to him. All right. Don't put words in my mouth, bro. That's not cool.
Can we all agree that if they're going to bring Michael Keaton, they should try and find a way to bring Uma
Yes.
Thurman so that she can
Yes.
pull the
No.
plug
Yes.
on
Wait,
some of the bitch.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I
She
don't know about that.
No.
She
I don't know
needs
about
a
that.
one-woman
Oh
show.
no, we don't
Camp
need this. I don't know
galore,
why you
bitches!
even asked
No,
this question.
fuck
It's so
this.
unnecessary.
What is
What
it? Why?
Destiny?
Why do people have an issue with Uma Thurman's?
Because she's terrible.
She wasn't
Yeah,
fucking
that's just
terrible.
unlit. Thank you,
Yes.
It was a terrible movie with an
And she was
excellent
bad in it.
performance.
No, I don't
She
care what
wasn't-
anyone
She's
says.
hilarious.
She was terrible.
No,
It's
no.
not nobody in
She
that
was
movie.
unintentionally funny.
Was she in the
If there-
Michael
He was-
Keaton?
No,
Was
if
she
they're
with
No,
Michael
George
Keaton?
it was like-
No.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
bringing
So we
back-
don't even need
No,
to
but
talk
it
that
felt
about
like
that.
timeline.
it felt like Warner Brothers
No.
cares.
if they're bringing back anyone, it should be Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. That's it.
Oh yeah,
That is it.
obviously,
yeah,
yes.
totally.
Danny
obviously,
DeVito's
yes.
Penguin's dead. Don't bother with the Batman Forever or the Batman and Robins. That's just not Michael Keaton's world. I see that as two completely different. Those two completely different Batmen. I really do.
But I
They're
just
not the
want
same.
I agree with Ben. I concur.
Taste.
Fine. Don't have an eco warrior. Dicks.
Go terrorist, Liam. Get your
Sorry.
facts right.
She was an ego
On-
terrorist.
Based.
I mean, greatest scene in all of comic book history was Uma Thurman. But okay, if that's what we want to go with. Next question. Since Rick Flag is dead, who should lead the Suicide Squad in the next movie if it gets made?
It probably
I don't
won't
think
get
it
made.
matters.
But Bloodsport.
Bloodsport, and maybe
I was
bring
thinking
back
of like
Deadshot and have them like have a rivalry. I was thinking about that.
That could be good. That could be good.
I was thinking of like an inside ye old military man, cannon fodder kind of shit. Because like Bloodsport will definitely be the one leading them. But Rick Flag was, I don't give a fuck about any of y'all kind of guy, you know?
Yeah.
He cared about them though. He wanted to go save Harley because she was left behind. That was his idea.
I like their little moments together. There was like little subtle moments of them like looking at each other and like hugging each other. That was like, oh, they're friends from the first movie.
With the gun.
Yeah.
The gun.
Yeah.
Pat, pat, pat.
Oh, I'm sad for Rick Flag.
Me too.
But I mean, it is kind of fair. He was kind of done, but at the same time,
He was.
He was
Yeah,
only
no.
coming into his own in a way. In a way, he was only coming into his own.
Yeah.
It is unfair that he did come into his own in the movie that he died.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yeah, he was
What a
played out.
shame.
He was.
So next one, did you guys discuss this? But how did Blackguard Pete Davidson contact the Quantum Maltese?
Oh yeah, that makes no sense. He was a prisoner.
I mean, I think it's clearly obvious that Amanda Waller.
Told him to do it.
No,
Then
I
he could
don't think
kill
she
him.
told. I don't
She
think
probably
she told
expected
him
it.
to do it.
Yeah.
I think she.
Allowed.
It's not
Manipulated.
answered, but I think she's manipulated it in a way that he could get in touch with the Quantum Maltese to allow them to know, because she was fully aware that they were all going to be on the beach because it was a setup. That whole team was a setup to get the other team onto the island. So pretty obvious she set it up somehow.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen to Weasel?
Oh,
Hope
poor
he's out there killing
thing.
He's going to be in the Suicide Squad 3.
I love
That's who they're
Weasel.
gonna save.
Then again, Matt. Hey Kyle, Mighty Mum could be the next movie and Megan Fox could play her.
Mm.
Is this some sort of...
Wait,
Oh,
what?
okay. That's a thing. Okay. Oh, and then Pastor Madeline jump in. Hey Faves. Hey Madeline.
Madeline,
Hi, Pastor Madeline.
the best.
And Bryony's put they should go up against the Doom Patrol and they'd lose because DP don't give a fuck about anything and refuse to be inconvenienced by anyone. They'd win by sheer indifference.
Bryony, the Doom Patrol is a great team because they're a bad team. That's why they're great. They can't get anything done, and that's what makes them so beautiful and wonderful and tragic. And one of my favorite television shows of all time. But that being said, King Shark would literally nom them all. Like, there's no way.
Not Robot Man.
So I'll go. I'm going to go with this question first because there's another question, so I can do the questions in order. But the question after this one is chef's kiss.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Do you wish they would spend more time with Team One rather than killing them all in the first 10 to 15 minutes?
No.
Other than Boomerang, then
Cannon
I
fodder
really-
for a reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'd
Serve
like to
their
see
purpose.
Javelin more, but other than that, like, these people needed to die, and they were they were already played out by the time that we had gotten there, so it's fine.
Oh, I did forget about TDK.
Oh yeah.
That was fucking ridiculous. When he was like detaching his arms, I was like, oh, he's gonna go and do so, and then literally he was just gay.
You're right.
slapping his arms about like a dick in a porno. Like, oh. So,
Oh, Liam, no.
Let's all say it together.
George's question: can you finish this famous quote? It's not witchcraft.
It's magic.
It's That also made Destiny and I break out laughing in the middle of our Young Justice.
Right? I will never forget that.
I have
cannot
it
believe
recorded
that's
so I
me.
can bring it up for posterity.
Yes.
Should we all want to see that?
Yeah, Matt, the At the Council is still going because I have questions. Okay, no, he's gone for his dinner, so I assume that means the questions are gone.
Oh well. It's been 2 hours.
Yes, the questions are
I'm
gone.
so sorry. Please.
Yes. Okay, we're done. We're done.
All right.
Thank you for watching with us, everyone.
Everyone say
thank you
bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us, Kyle. Where can anyone find you if they'd like to?
Mr. Artiste.
I don't know. I don't really do YouTube right now, but I'm on Twitter at Kyle J Selby. Same thing on Instagram. I don't know. You don't need to find me.
Go and check him out. He wears a lot of vests.
I'm sure he'll be on the council again at some point.
I'm assuming. So yes, thank you everyone for joining us. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, wait.
Lovely,
George has a
everyone.
question.
George.
I
great.
like it.
Well, If
We
you
actually.
had to cast your fellow council members on the live chat today in Suicide Squad, I mean,
Funnily
can we
enough,
just go
we did this
firstly?
recently, and let me find that list.
Destiny, because of what you did, you are going to be Poison Ivy.
Fuck you.
Even though she's not on the Suicide
I
Squad.
like great Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Nah.
that was the shit.
True.
Jack is Red Hood.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Not Killer Croc.
Destiny, we literally
No.
casted you as Harley.
I
Alligator,
know, but
Oh
I
yeah.
couldn't
True.
resist.
Who do we think Ben's going to be? Who's got like really bad hair?
We put
I like my
Banshee
hair
down
put
for
here.
you
That was
because you yell a
that was
lot.
Marvel.
No, that was DC.
Is Banshee? No,
Silver
Banshee's
Banshee.
in-
Silver Banshee.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Silver
Silver
Banshee.
Banshee.
Forgot about that person.
Liam, you were Bane. Jack, Nightwing. Kyle,
Oh.
Kyle, Soups.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say the one you originally made.
No, we
Maybe
changed
Jimmy
it.
Olsen, if anyone.
Who's
What?
Jimmy Olsen?
Kyle, I suppose
Jimmy.
he's not.
Superman's
I'll take
buddy.
it.
Kyle, you are a tatted as hell Superman.
Thanks.
I would say he's more like Calendar Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, oh sorry, Chico. Wait, one more. Who would die and survive in the Suicide Squad of the council? I would survive because I'm amazing.
I'm so dead.
I
I would
think-
so Grey Waller. I want her to blow my head off. I would
Yeah.
die straight away.
Ben would be the first one to die. I think Natalia would be the second one to die, only because I think she would just, as soon as Ben died, I think Natalia would shove her arms up and go, "I've got something to say," and then forget what she has to say, and then get confused about what's happening, turn around, and then Amanda would just blow her head off because
Yeah.
she got confused, didn't know what was happening, and fucked off.
Yeah.
And then I think the rest of us would survive.
I don't think
There we
that. I
go.
think you'd all die except for Destiny.
I wouldn't.
Oh, thank you, though.
The missus says
Why?
that I would die first.
Nah, Bryony's second. She's second. She's not first. Ben's definitely first.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is
so
totally
Pete
first.
Davidson. I would just throw my
Yeah.
hands up, get really scared, and then just get shot to pieces.
Yeah,
So-
I think Ben would be like the
I would be
arsehole
the first
character who'd be
exploded.
like, "I'm not
exploded
doing
head.
shit."
Yeah, like Slipknot. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Like
Ben
Uh,
would be
Ah.
would be the Slipknot.
I would rat you
Have
guys
the
all
hair for it
out.
as
Like,
well as the big ponytail. Definitely.
yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think it's fucking.
Right, I think that's it for us.
All right,
We've
yeah.
been here 2 hours.
Yeah.
We've been good. We've been brave. Jack needs to go and I'm assuming film some sort of porno. He needs to get that OnlyFans
yeah.
money.
Yes.
So that has been us. Thank you everyone for joining us. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah.